Let's look at this dilution question. How would you prepare 215 ml of a 0.726 molar NaOH solution, starting with a 4.49 molar stock solution? So let's just do a quick diagram to illustrate this question. We start off with a concentrated stock solution of 4.49 molar. And we want to add water so that it will become a diluted solution of 0.726 molar with a final volume of 215 ml. For dilution questions, we can use the equation M1V1 equals to M2V2. M stands for molarity or the concentration, and V stands for the volume. So looking at this data here, let's identify which are M1, V1, M2, V2. So the initial concentration, this is M1. Final concentration is M2. This is the final volume, so this is V2. Essentially, we want to find out what is V1, which is the volume of stock solution that you need. This is V1. So to find V1, you would take M2V2 divided by M1. You can get this just by rearranging the equation. So let's substitute the values into this equation. You have M2 is 0.726, V2 is 215, M1 is 4.49. Key that into your calculator, you should get 34.8 mL, or you can also round it to 35 mL because we are just measuring the volume up to the nearest milliliter. So V1 would be 35 ml. Now to find out how much water you need, just take the final volume, which is 215 ml, minus the initial volume of stock solution, which is 35 ml. And you should get 180 milliliters. Let's try another dilution question. You have 505 ml of 0.155 molar HCl solution, and you want to dilute it to exactly 0.100 molar. How much water should you add? So again, let's draw a diagram to represent the question. You have 0.155 molar HCl solution, and the volume is 505 ml. What you need to do is to add enough water so that you have a final concentration of 0.100 molar. Okay, so similar as the previous question, for dilution questions, you can use M1V1 equals to M2V2. So let's identify which are M1V1 and M2V2. You have 505 ml initially, so this is the initial volume, that means this is V1. Initial concentration is 0.155, so this is M1. And the final concentration that you want is 0.100 molar, so this is M2. So let's start by finding out what is V2, your final volume, which you still don't know. So rearranging the equation, V2 equals to M1V1 over M2. Let's substitute these values in. you should get 782.75. But since we are measuring out the volume to the nearest ml, you can round this up to 783 ml. So this is the final volume, but the question asks how much water should you add? Meaning to say, from 505 ml, you want to get 783 ml, how much water should you add? So just take 783 minus 505. And you would get 278 ml.